Hi, I'm Pastor Jono Adams from St. James Evangelical Lutheran Church in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Later this week, Christians will turn the page into a new season of the church year called Lent. And I think it's always worthwhile to talk a bit about what that actually means. In the earliest days of the church, new converts to Christianity were baptized, usually during the celebration of Easter, making the season leading up to it a time of preparation, which those converts would spend in study and prayer and fasting, and the whole church would do it right alongside them. Today, this time before Easter, the season of Lent, is still a time in which we prepare ourselves and look for ways to turn our lives to be more close to God. The idea of giving something up for Lent, which seems to be what most people know about it, is something that goes back to one of the oldest disciplines, the idea of fasting. But that's not the only discipline that we use to march the season. It's not the only discipline that's important. Things like prayer and generosity are just as important. And at St. James and in the wider Ligonier community, we'll be finding ways to practice all of those spiritual disciplines during this season. It all starts Wednesday, February 18th, with the first of 6 midday services sponsored by the Association of Churches. Those will be each Wednesday at noon, starting out at Heritage Methodist and then continuing here at St. James. The services themselves will last about half an hour and be followed by a light lunch. Each service being led by one of my colleagues in ministry here in Ligonier. That evening, St. James will host our traditional Ash Wednesday service as an introduction and an invitation to the season of Lent. That will be here at St. James at 7 p.m. And then throughout the following 5 weeks, each week we're going to be releasing a video from the St. James Facebook page, from our YouTube page, that I'm calling Fireside Chats. Each week in those Fireside Chat videos, I will offer a response to at least one, sometimes maybe 2 or 3 faith-based questions that are submitted by our members or our friends and neighbors in the community. And I'm intentional about using the word response because I imagine that some of those questions won't have straight answers. But I promise I will try to tackle each one with an educated pastoral response the best that I can. Our friends at Camp Sequanona, up on the other side of the mountain, will be hosting an interactive online book study each Tuesday based off of a book called By Heart, Conversations with Martin Luther's Small Catechism. We'll make sure you have information about how to participate in that if that's something that interests you. And then finally, for our regulars at St. James, our Stewardship and Evangelism Committee is back with yet another creative way to honor and to respect Lent, and in particular the idea of generosity by doing random acts of kindness during this season. My hope is that one of these offerings, or maybe even something completely different, will give you a meaningful way to reconnect and enrich your faith. Whether you've observed Lent every year of your life or whether you've never even thought of it, whether you feel like your faith is strong or whether you're still searching for it, Lent is a season for you. Nearly 2,000 years ago, Lent began as a preparation for new life through holy baptism. And that's still what it is today. It's an invitation to slow down, to pay attention and to draw a little bit closer to God. And I would be honored to walk that journey with you. So I hope to see you sometime during Lent, either at any of those midweek offerings or Sunday worship at 10 a.m. Take care and may God bless you. Bye.